Oh no, I was desoldering the audio cable here. As you can see, the left, the right, and now the ground. Hey there everybody, and welcome back to Digital Paul Workshop. It is I, that short in your wire that keeps you from hearing your audio, Techno Meow Tinkerer. And today we're actually going to deal with a short in a wire, at least with my headphones. For a couple months back, one of the channels, at least that left channel, went out, and I just hadn't been able to hear anything out of it. And so I decided I'm going to finally replace the audio cable. So let's log on in. Now, these are like old $7 headphones I mentioned in my original introduction video, and as you can see, I have worked and used them to the point where I've wore the cheap, I don't know, vinyl plastic cover off of it. Now, if you know how to reupholster these things, someone please drop it in the comment about it, because I would not mind actually redoing. Because this headphones really ain't that bad, just that the left channel went out, and then the one with the boom mic on it. Now, I don't use the boom either, and I mentioned that in my original video. And that's because when I plug the audio and the microphone up, the headphone and the microphone, I got some weird noise in my recordings, and so I just left it off and just used a lapel mic. Now, it's not going to be the little lapel mic I'm going to be trying to put in here because it's too big, and the only reason I'm using it is because there's a sock on it. So I was going to put the smaller one in, as you can see, it would not fit later on. But take this apart. Now, this is like my 5th time taking it apart. I have tried a couple times to troubleshoot this thing, or at least the first time I was trying to see if I could take it apart, and this time, another time was I was doing one type of troubleshooting. But I'm going to show you what I did. I did last night. I went through and I checked, and my homemade multimeter, not really multimeter, but there's a way I can check, because I have not learned how to use the multimeter, at least for checking to see if a circuit is good or not. And so I make my own using the 9-volt battery, a little light bulb, and some alligator clamps. And so this is how I know, this is how I find out if I have a break in a wire someplace. And of course, last night I checked a few spots, so I kind of learned how to do this, so I know where to go at now. That's the ground I'm checking. Let's see if I can get I got light there. You guys see the ground's working. I'm checking to make sure that it ain't crossing over some of the others. Now this is the right channel, I think. Yeah, I think that's the right channel, the center one. And then make sure it ain't. Make sure on some stuff. See, that's the ground, the right channel, and the left channel. So I don't get and so I know that's the one, and that's how I learned where my issue was, because I didn't know if it was the speaker. Because I tried one time hooking another speaker up using alligator clamps, and I didn't get no audio, and so I put off doing it. And so these are some scrap wires I have lying around now. I knew which one was the ground. I was at least pretty sure it's the bare coppers. Oftentimes is ground on most of these. Even in house electricals, sometimes it's green, but most time it's the bare. But I want to go through and find out which one's which, because I kind of want to make sure my channels line up. Really don't have a need for. I don't see no purpose of really just having left or right channel. Maybe have them switched or not, but there might become a time where I need to, so I at least want to make sure I hook it up right. And that's why I end up checking the wire. Also, that's one reason why I checked that wire, not just to see which wire went to where, but also to make sure that it didn't have a break in, because don't want to go through, put all this stuff in, and then end up having to take it all apart because it also had a short in it. And a little future reference, nope, it don't, because I've already plugged it up and tried it out, and it works fine. It's nice to actually hear out of both ears now. And this is the boom mic. Like I said, I don't use it, so I figured I was going to try and see if I can just go ahead and replace the microphone. I had a little spare lapel mic around, and I was just going to see if I can replace it. And this was a little bit of trouble trying to get open. Had to get my thumbnail in there. And I don't know if it's just because of the wiring itself that it didn't have a protective coating on it. and sit here and try to get this little clamp to move because I need the actual lapel to fit in to the casing, so, and I won't do it with that clamp there. And so I'm checking, trying to see how do I want to mount it, how do I want to fit it in, see if it will even fit in that hole. And of course it's just slightly too big. I kind of do need a Dremel tool at some point. Yeah, so like and subscribe and share my videos that help me get monetized so I can buy me a Dremel tool. I might actually want to put up one of those, I don't know, I thought about doing locals, but I also thought about some sort of, there's one where you can put up where people can buy stuff for it. I can't think of it right now. It's like Thrones or something. I've looked into some of those ways, but for right now I'm gonna have to make do with what I got. I could not get the microphone to fit through the crack there, so eventually, after trying for a little while, later on I ended up cutting the wire. I really didn't want to because I kind of want to keep it all together, but I couldn't get what I want. But sometimes you'll find you'll get what you need. Yeah, I know that's a poor song joke reference, but still. Now, this is the board to the LED lights, and I rarely ever plug the USB up, and I forgot to hit record. That's why there's only a picture of showing the spot where I'm desoldering. But I'm going to leave the board in there. I have no really place to put it. It's just might as well keep it there. If I ever want to get the boards, I'll just take the headphones off apart and unsolder the boards. And yeah, this is I think this is where I was going to try to oh no, I was desoldering the audio cable here. As you can see, the left, the right, and now the ground. Desolder those cables there. And that's because I really wish I could have gotten my lapel to fit in, because it'd be nice to actually have everything kind of connected together, so to speak, but it wouldn't fit. And I've actually thought about a couple different ways I want to put connector and wires, but here I go, I have to cut it off. And one reason I kind of want to get this back together is because my headphones, it doubles as audio controls from my speakers. I'm using like an old boombox tape deck with speakers for my as computer speakers, and when I'm listening to some videos on YouTube, they're loud, and actually the way I got these things set up, my headphones actually double as volume controls for it. Yeah, this is my new little wire strippers I got. Everybody talked about how good these were, and I will see if I pick up something so I can quit breaking wires when I strip them. And I got I've only played with them once. This is like the first time I actually really used them for a project. And my old ones, because it wouldn't strip the small wires, it only would do the big ones, so I got to figure out if there's a way to set it for the smaller stuff. And of course, twist the ground together, and I'm going to put a little bit of soldering on all these tips to try to help keep the wires together and when I go to solder stuff. But back to my headphones doubling as controls, I have my audio leaving my computer, and it goes to a Y. One Y goes to my boombox, the other one goes to my board, which has a Y on it for my headphones. And I got it set up this way so I don't have to keep plugging and unplugging my headphones. Sometimes I want to listen to stuff on speakers, and sometimes I want to listen to stuff through the headphones. And it makes it this way. And then at night time, when some of the audio is so loud on YouTube that I can't really turn down it effectively on my boombox without just turning the audio off completely, using my headphones to draw power away from the boombox by turning it up lowers the volume, so it works as a separate volume control. Now that I got everything kind of set up there, it's time to solder everything in place. And I do want to make actual audio control for my speakers and headphones, where I can actually control each one with a on-off switch, but that'll be for a later project and video. And as I'm soldering this stuff in place, I'll probably post up the diagram of what I want to do, so if anybody got any tips on how I can do it, take a look at my diagram and leave it in comment. Okay, now we're doing the right channel. Yeah, for some reason I didn't have the my microscope camera position. I do want to build a soldering station with a special arm to hold this so I can get it in place, because this little stand does not get in the way and does not move where you need to move. Okay, now here's where I'm getting ready to work on the lapel. I'm going to actually, since I can't feed the wire through the way the other one went through, I'm going to actually try to make a hole. Now the first time I made this hole, as you can see, is I'm kind of actually in the wrong spot. I didn't realize it. I wanted to be down there, but I didn't realize it did not give much space between the cylinder that it uses to go up and move the arm up and down. So I see where it didn't give me much space, so I end up going through and just moving the hole back. Now the hole is big enough for the wire, as we'll see here in a little bit, but turns out my microphone is too big for the casing. I used a little bit more sturdier, stronger clamps to try to help hold everything together. I got 2 little holes. Kind of cleaning it, try to make sure to get it kind of bored out. I think that's what the correct term, bore. Not the animal. And so, yeah, like I said, the wire fit just fine. As you can kind of see here, and you'll be able to see in just a second when I go to close it up. I couldn't close the top because of the thickness of the microphone. And I'm wondering if I had a Dremel tool, if I can Dremel down the plastic inside just enough where it could have closed. But that'll be another project for another day. So I went ahead and just started putting everything back together, because I've soldered the one piece I needed to solder, and that was the wire back on. Now I'm using some air dry clay here, the same one I use for my trees, to kind of fill in the gaps, since I don't have one of those little rubber grommets like the original wire has. So I'm kind of using this to fill it in, to create some sort of tension, so I won't be pulling on the soldered connections if the wire gets yanked. Yes, I know it don't match as far as blend in, neither does the wire. But you make things work with what you got, and I don't have the money to go spending just buying something brand new every time something breaks. It'll be nice to have that type of luxury, but I don't have that luxury. I do hope to have it one day. But I still will probably be putting stuff together, because I still like doing this type of work. It's fun. Now this is, like I said, I think I mentioned earlier that I accidentally broke these wires up loose at some point working on this thing, so I got to solder my left speaker back on. And of course get my little tweezers. Oh, I was trying to find these for one project a while back. I forgot where I put them. But yeah, it was fun trying to see, and it doesn't help that my eyesight has gotten bad recently on some of this, so I'm having to use glasses. Used to, I could write and read 9 size font in low lighting. That was probably about almost 10 years ago, probably about 10 years ago. Now I have to have glasses. I need to get back to actually trying to train my eyes, so I don't need the glasses. Get outside and start looking in the distance, because I'm always staring at either a screen or something up close. And so I need to get outside and get my eyes to work out. Probably start eating a little bit more fish to get those vitamins that are needed. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get this back together. I had to remember that the wire actually had its own little groove to go in. And put everything back together the same way I took it apart. And one thing is when I had to redo the speakers, the board it came off of, I actually had to go look back and see. I kind of had the idea, but I want to make sure which soldering joint I need to go put back, because you really can't. You to a degree can, but it's a little bit difficult to try to check the speakers before you put it back in the headphones. Make sure everything's working, because one test I did when I had them apart was trying to listen to the speaker. And I think what it is, I think I crossed the right and left channel, and that's how, when I did one test beforehand, that's how I found out that the speaker was still good. It was just the cable. And again, if you know how to upholstery that, please drop me information in the comments. But yep, like I said before, my headphones work great now. And if you like my content and you want to see me do more of this stuff, please subscribe and share this video with anyone you think might find it interesting. I hope you have a nice day.